Alright, so welcome to the video for lesson number 12 on the mid-segment theorem. So in class today we learned about the mid-segment theorem, how it's parallel to the base, and it also is going to bisect the two sides that it intersects. So let's take a look at a couple of these questions. A lot of the questions in tonight's homework are actual Regents questions, just so you know. So in number 1, it tells us that we have a triangle. It says that point D is the midpoint of AB, meaning these two get cut in half. And E is the midpoint of BC, meaning these two cut in half. Well, that tells us that this is a mid-segment. So if we look at the two lines, ED and AC, they're going to be parallel to each other, and one of them is going to be half of the other. So I know that DE is equal to half of whatever AC is. So it tells us AC is 4x plus 10. Half of that is 2x plus 5. Let's look at number 2. Number 2 tells us that we have these two triangles, and number 2 has some stuff in it that I probably shouldn't have put on this homework assignment. Like number 4, this symbol just means similar, which we haven't learned yet. We're going to learn in a future lesson. So I'll tell you right away, that's not your choice. That is actually true. So is DE half of CB? That's true. Is DE parallel to CB? That's true. So the only choice that makes sense is choice 3. Number 3 has midpoints. So anytime we see midpoints, we're thinking mid-segments, right? So it tells us that line segment AB is 18. Meaning AM is 9 and MB is 9. Now if AB has a mid-segment of TR, that means TR is also 9. It then tells us that AC is 14, meaning AT and TC are both 7. MR is the mid-segment parallel to that base, so that's also 7. If BC is 10, that means BR and RC are both 5. Notice MT is parallel, so MT is also 5. Now this is asking us to find the perimeter of segment, or I'm sorry, quadrilateral ACRM. ACRM. So I just want to add up the sides on that green or yellow, I don't even know my colors right now, yellow quadrilateral. So I have a 9, I have a side of 7, I have a side of 5, and I have a side of 14. So the perimeter of ACRM is whatever the sum of all those numbers come up to. So 9 plus 7 plus 5 plus 14, well, that comes out to be 35. Last one, number 4. So it tells us that in triangle ABC, DE is the mid-segment. So I already know that these are going to be parallel to each other. It says that DE is 7, which makes AC 14. It says AB is 10, which makes each of these two pieces 5, DB and AD. And it says BC is 13, making this 6.5 and 6.5. This whole thing is 13, and this whole side is 10. It wants us to find the perimeter of triangle ABC. So from A to B is 10, from B to C is 13, and from A to C is 14. So I actually didn't even need to find all the little pieces. So that's going to be 37. I could have asked you to find the perimeter of triangle DBE. I could have even asked you about angles and all that stuff, but all that is in the lesson. Hopefully this video helps, right? Hopefully the mid-segment wasn't too bad of a concept from today's lesson. Again, there was nothing in the homework that you couldn't do other than just you didn't know what choice 4 even meant, so we'll just automatically assume that that's not the right answer. All right. For this choice, the one that doesn't make sense or is not true, right? It's just saying that AD is the same size as DE, DC is the same size as CB, which in your picture it is not. Okay, think about your rules and properties of mid